Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the proper place. You've come to the right place. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? I think we're a little bit past this, but that's okay. Order, order, order. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch. But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands, both of them. Literally or like figuratively? And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. This is awkward. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir? Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? Prove it. I dare you. I fucking dare you. Prove it. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all your witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Nice. Okay, here we go. More pressing. What the witnesses really saw. Ooh, this music. Yes, let's go. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose I might say that I didn't see the exact moment this stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Wait, what? You couldn't have, because not everyone was looking at the same place, right? Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. Or like lack. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. Oh. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witnesses' accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. I mean, there was. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes. Let's do it. We got this. Okay. Oh, wow. what the witnesses really saw. Okay, there was blood on both hands of the assailant. I think it was the last one. We're gonna press that last one. Oh, this is taking a while. Okay, we'll try to press this one.
Hold it!
Hold it! Wait a minute! Wait a gosh darn minute! And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right, and it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. That's his last name. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. Buzz off, bozo! So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring, long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Okay. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They might not have been able to, yeah. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck, is that right? That's right, yes. Allegedly. There's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. Yeah. By golly, really? Obviously at this stage we can't say for sure, because y'all been lying. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Yeah, wait, didn't we already dispute that? Because everyone paid 5 pence, right? Instead of 4. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. I brought the scene of the crime to you. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. Oh, nice. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Oh shit. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Well, if they were sitting here, then it could be here, right? I don't know. Or here? Well, it can't be here because they're sitting up here. But were they sitting up front or were they sitting in the back? I'm just gonna present this part. Yeah, right there. Here, my lord, in this location, an extra passenger could have been completely hidden from view. If you believe that to be true, counsel, then may I suggest you attempt to conceal yourself there? What? And here's to you never seeing the light of day again. Oh no! Whatever's in the hallowed chalice, it has a very bitter aftertaste. It pains me to say it, Mr. Naruhodo, but that was, well, bitterly disappointing. There's bitterness in the air, it seems. Oh no, what? Yeah, okay, we'll think about it. Okay. Let's look at our records. I can't tell where they've been sitting. Let's look at people. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Let's see, okay. So I don't know. This one? I guess it's this one, because if they... It's weird, because, like, if they... yeah. If they were sitting here, then they could look down and see them. Then they must have been sitting there, so... This might be the hidden place. Okay. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means... The visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Okay, nice. Yeah. Duh. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Boom. That makes more sense. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. He's so cool. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you? I don't think so. I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? I have no idea. Right? I have no idea. I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. What? Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Mrs. Sato. Alright then. I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. I don't know. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. What if it's the, like, little fat guy? The juror number 1. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... I don't know. Okay, so... Can't be Susato. I don't think it was Mil Strongheart. It can't be Magnus, because they're both sitting with... He's sitting with the victim. I don't think it's Van Zeeks. It has to be one of these 3. Well, but they're claiming they sat up top. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Or maybe... Oh, well, we're assuming that McGilda didn't murder him. So maybe he's the one who actually sat opposite. And the attacker sat next to Mason. Okay. This is a long shot, but let's try it.
Take that!
Okay. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilden. McGilden? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant. I think we got it. I think we got it. Hopefully. Oh my god. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Is that his second one? People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. Wow, rude. Well, the bloody scene unfolded. The victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's glove, my lord. What? Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gore remains. It's like a lot of objecting going on. The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. So those hands belong to someone else. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection.
And who was this third party? I don't know. Obviously, the true culprit. Ooh, extraordinary. Nice. Order. What exactly are you postulating?
Objection.
The defendant's postulation is just that, nothing more than just conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, so you clearly didn't see him. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat do the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Were you there? Were you the one who killed him? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Oh yeah. That is a little bit... Yeah, he is right. There was another passenger traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. It's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Maybe McGilded left right before it happened. No, it couldn't be. I don't know. There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Huh. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? Should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? I think we should get his testimony. Why would we leave it alone? Let's get his testimony. Why not, right? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilden to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilden has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Nice. Okay, here it is. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. It's crazy that we came in here knowing nothing about the case. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilden, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Begad, no. 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. He's so shady. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all, or keep my mouth shut? That makes sense. Tell us what, Mr. McGilden? Tell us what? The fine fella presenting me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. What? Why did you admit that? Look at his thin legs. He's like a love child of Waluigi and like Wario. No, Magnus McGilden, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. It was a child? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. And as a girl, they'd have hauled her into this here courtroom, just like myself. I was only trying to spare that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. Okay. That's weird. Why would you... Okay. And who is this young child of whom you speak? I ain't talking. That I don't know. Alright, well, the wee ting just happened to be in that carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection.
It's very convenient. Very suspicious, if you ask me. We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witnesses' statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. Oh my god, what's going on? Oh, there's a fire. Someone's trying to get away. It's no use. What? Can't see anything through all the smoke. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. Oh my god. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. Oh my god. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff, amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. To be continued! Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see what happens in the next episode. Thanks. Bye, guys.